say welcome to this video. The reason why I'm doing a little bit of a talk before the actual video begins is because this is quite a long one, and I actually have never done a 2.5 hour video in my whole life. So I just want to say you can watch it in one go, you can watch it in separate goes. I don't really care how you watch this video. The thing is, you just need to take in mind that the video is 2.5 hours and everything you see here is made in 2 weeks, as you might also hear in the speed building talk bit, because I actually don't know what I say in that because it isn't even recorded yet. I'm just thinking of finishing this video in like a way, but the longest thing apart from the building is just the speed build talk. But anyways, if you watch this in one go, you can grab a popcorn or at least something to eat or drink, or eat and drink, because this is a long one, and I hope you guys enjoy it because I enjoyed building it. Anyways, I'll see you in the speed building part. Okay, welcome to this video. It's actually like a first time kind of like thing, in a way of me participating in a build battle. Though there's a little bit of a twist for me, because I actually have my finals, also starting from the moment the deadline is, so I also need to study in between. So this is a project I can only work on in the evenings, and it's also the holidays, so I need to see when I can build on this extra thing actually. But anyways, the requirements set up by the message, let me just read the message in general. So there is a build battle, switch track build battle, and Tycoon 2 for 25,000 Robux in total. The rules: you can build with 2 people in your team, you have to use at least 1 switch track, there is no limit on the layout, team or size. Using any blueprints or builds made before the update is prohibited, and of course follow the server rules. That's just in this server in general. You get scored on originality, building techniques, overall impression, uniqueness, and the wow factor. And I actually already had an idea to do this, and I was thinking of the Drachen Spire concept Giga Coaster from Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, for the people who don't know. I was like thinking of doing something like that, and it's unique in itself, in my eyes. The theming, I was thinking of more like a abandoned castle kind of like way thing. The wow factor, it is big, so it will just give a wow immediately. Building techniques, I don't know if you can actually judge on building techniques on this big coaster. The only thing it will be like is supports, and the overall impression. I wrote again, it is big, getting mostly of the things on the big kind of like side, but we'll see if we actually get it finished and submit it. First prize is 6,000 Robux, and then it just goes down gradually to 10th place. Then you get 500 Robux. Yeah, I'll be working alone. Let me just actually join the group right now. I see if I'm not in it. And I guess it's time to actually start this build. So yeah, see you in the speed build. So welcome to this kind of long video, and I first of all want to say what a ride it has been to actually create this coaster in itself, because it took a while to actually get everything. And yeah, as you might have heard in the beginning, this coaster is based on Drachen Spire at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, the 355-foot giga for the European people who use the metric system, a 108 meters tall. It's a concept coaster made by Intamin, actually, for Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. And yeah, it was supposed to be their big anniversary coaster that eventually ended up getting scrapped, or I don't know what happened with it. I didn't do that research myself. So yeah, the layout is actually quite simple. You roll out of the station onto the launch track with a switch track, of course, and yeah, from that launch you get held back. There isn't anything much, and you get hold. You've been holding for a few seconds, and after that you launch backwards up a spike, and then you launch forwards into a turn, another launch into this giant spike that's actually eye-catcher of this coaster, and also the reason why I am building this, because the spike is huge. 355 feet ain't nothing, so yeah. So as you can see, programming this here right now, programming actually took a while to actually get it working, and I actually was planning on doing it at triple launch at first, but then I just decided to make it just a simple swing launch that passes 2 times. And yeah, getting this right took actually a little bit of a while, but in the end it turned out alright. And yeah, I guess with that said, the layout is done. Quite simple, as you can see, and yeah. And welcome back to the real-time part. I'm gonna just do it a little bit different than anything else. Also, the reason why I think this video might be longer, I don't know yet. Because I literally have no recordings at this point. So, anyways, I managed to get a good layout. Still the Drachen Spire layout, but I had a few bad transitions and stuff, so I fixed that, and then the sequencing that took a little bit of time, so most of that went off screen. What I mean with that is getting this to work correctly in like the way it does now. Just for example, this train, it's moving forward, then backwards, of course. Up the spike, then going forwards again, because it needs to complete the layout. So yeah, then moving forwards, maybe a little bit too fast, but it's okay. Then going up the spike, and then going back down, braking a little bit there, and then braking all the way here. The brake power isn't that intense, by the way. It's just really nicely, for some reason. Then it just switches, so it can go to the station. Now, the next point actually is getting a transfer track here. This brake run just slides over to here with the train on it, and then here is storage. So we actually have like a nice building here as well, and then yeah, just for the rest. Now we will just go into the support structure of this coaster, and yeah, the details of the track, what I meant, like with what I meant with the transfer track and stuff. So yeah, see you guys back in the speed building part. I think, yeah. And we're back in the speed building part, and as you can see, the layout of this kind of this video is different from all the rest the things I have done. Meaning, I actually divided this video up in chapters because it was taking a while. So if you want to see something specific, you can just skip to that part and watch it. If you want to rewatch it, or just want to skip everything and go to the end, that's completely fine with me. It's just I don't care how you watch this video, and in the end it's still long. Even for me, I need to do voice over everything because I want to, and also can explain everything what I did in that way. So yeah, now that the coaster layout is actually done and looking very big, I decided to make a little setup for the transfer track, because the trains need to be stored somewhere. So that's what's going on here. Just a simple transfer track. Nothing that special, but instead of block brakes I just use regular brakes, because I actually don't want any trains there. Also, you don't really see it in the end, so yeah, and also because the transfer track bits of the switch track supports and details were a little bit beneath the ground, I needed to lower the ground a little bit. But funnily enough, you don't see that in the finished build, because that is differently than things, because of the terrain I added. This build actually heavily relies on terrain in the end. But anyways, as you can see here, just making a basic support, and from the pieces I have literally been doing nothing. Either looking up reference images or being busy with looking up for colors for the support. And then it's just basically the basic program of placing these supports down, trying to space them out equally, and looking for if it's realistic or not. And that required a lot of reference images, a lot of other people recreations, and all that kind of stuff, where in the end you can get some really cool results. Also, if we talk about now, you can see I started supporting the spike, and I actually haven't been I actually haven't done any massive support columns back in the day when I played this game a lot, because I just thought it was kind of complicated. But looking back at it now, if you do like a spike in this way, it's actually quite easy to do for some reason. And I don't know, maybe it's because with the amount of things I've learned over the years and all that stuff, that it becomes easier. Also, funnily enough, as you saw that just now, I actually had a grass column. You'll see that a lot when it's me making these supports, because actually doing detailed work up on the higher spots is kind of hard when you are zoomed out far, because every minuscule movement of your camera can create a much different view. And yeah, here I was actually looking at a way on how to make the support. And yeah, in that way, making it look more realistically. And I think the main inspiration here was just the first concept, because it isn't actually a concept from Intamin or Pushcart. I think it's just fan concepts created from planning permits, or I don't know. I might need to do research for the next bit. But yeah, I picked it from the first concept, where you actually just go up a straight spike instead of a twisted spike, and looking at those supports, I actually copied this support. Here I'm actually looking at some competition. This is Tizzy. I have been in call a lot with him lately, and he even helped me out on some stuff, so I actually want to thank Tizzy for helping me out with all that stuff. And yeah, right here I made a very horrible support structure. I am not satisfied with what I did here. Reason why I made a triangular or a pyramid kind of like shape, and it looked horrible because the backwards or the large straight column was sticking out so... Well, no, not sticking out, it was so long, it's unbelievable. I don't know why I think that could fit, but I am really glad I changed that looking back at this design. That is so horrible. Yeah, as you can see, I also get asked around a lot for my opinion, because apparently people care about that. So yeah, here you can see me doing the new support I was going for. So yeah, this was also still trying to figure out any stuff. But here also, here came in, the mirror tool came quite handy with making the support, because I just needed to do one side and could mirror it over to the other side because it contained more than one piece. And here I'm explaining the mirror tool to one of my friends because he still didn't understand it quite a bit. So yeah. Also, that is a thing. I've actually been working on behind the scenes, not heavily in December and January because the build battle and also school stuff, because the amount of deadlines I had. Jesus. So yeah, anyways, I don't know what the clip's coming next, so if I suddenly get cut off, that's because I literally don't know where all the clips are, but looking at the other track I still think it's the same. So as you can see, doing some stuff here. It's kind of small at this moment. I think I realized that a little bit later, because the support was clipping a little bit through the track there in the corner, and that's also I think I care about a lot. The clearance on rides, and most people don't really look at that, but when I make a coaster I try to do it as realistic as possible. Also, the split point at the top I changed as well because it's still looking quite far, I think, though, because this is 2 weeks ago now, which is quite long ago. The layout was done quite quick, and the supports also, I think on the supports and layout, I think I only spent 3 days working in the evenings, and then the castle building came, and that took up a lot of time. And when I mean a lot, I really mean a lot. I think that's the biggest chapter, and after that it's the outdoors. And I didn't even record anything, everything. I mean, and reason why, otherwise this video would be really long, and you would also see me do some very repetitive stuff, and I just didn't want to bother you guys with all the boring stuff happening with like doing placing bricks constantly, because that was really, I placed so many bricks, it's unbelievable. Also, looking at the file size of the finished project, which is 1.84 MB, it's almost half of what you can build. I have never done something that big. I mean, the biggest park I have showed it in a stream of, that's 1.73 MB or something near that. It's around the 1.7 MB mark. This is 1.84, and I have, like I said, never done something big like this, in a way of like one coaster being that heavily decorated, so the file size is actually massive. And yeah, just in general, I think I've never built a coaster this big. So yeah, it's kind of crazy for me. So also, looking at playtime in hours, I can't really do that on this plot because I have used this plot before, and it was a random decision of me joining, because I think I said somewhere that I would join the first or the next Thijmen build battle. This being it, also it was quite irresponsible of me joining this build battle because I actually needed to study, like I said in the intro, but I guess I'll see my results. At the moment of recording this voiceover, I also haven't taken any exams yet, so I still can save stuff technically, but I don't know. So yeah, I'll just see, and maybe, I don't think I even can incorporate my test results or exam results, final results, I don't know how to even call it, in this video, because I think once the results come out on Thijmen's Discord server, I'm just going to record it, make a thumbnail, maybe even make a thumbnail beforehand, and just render it and put it on YouTube, I guess. I don't know when that will be, but I think this will be the only video you can expect from me in January, because I also have been kind of burned out now, because creating something that big on your own, I just don't want to touch the game for a moment, just to breathe some air and stuff, or just go back to finding myself, because Jesus Christ, was this or were these past 2 weeks intense to do. And not gonna lie, I did enjoy it. I did enjoy making this, but it's just combined with everything that's been going on, it's just crazy. Also, I was thinking I was doing the supports very detailed, but then Kylo came in with I studied 2 hours of Intamin supports and I came up with this set, and I was like, wait, what? And he did it so realistically. I mean, one simple connector piece between the supports is absolutely detailed. I don't know how many items were in there, but it was a lot. And he worked with cones and stuff, and yeah, Kylo, if you're hearing this, that's absolutely insane going that far. So yeah, as you can see here, the backward spike is almost finished, just me adding some tiny details and stuff, and actually finishing this support, because this support was the one that went through the most revisions, I think. Just to make it simple, and also the reason why it's sticking out to the back and not to the side is because it will only get the backwards pushing force and not the lateral force, or I don't know how to say it, because the train, or maybe just a little bit, but you can get rid of that because it's minuscule and you won't need to take that into account with creating that spike. So yeah, as you can see, the first launch is actually complete, and I see a real world section coming up, so I think I need to round it up for this little section. But yeah, as you can see, a little on right here, and with that said, I think I'll see you guys back into that tiny real-time section where I will explain some stuff. So yeah, see you guys there. And we're actually a day further now. Yeah, a lot has changed. As you saw in the recording, I managed to make this monstrosity, which is absolutely insane. Never done such a big support before, and it looking kind of great actually. But yeah, I still need to do that one. Don't know how that will go, and I also still need to do the transfer track and stuff. First, trying to actually get everything in before I continue on to actually theming the ride. Because the supports are like the thing that needs to make this ride more visually striking, more visually appealing, making it look grand and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the thing. Also, with the amount of building techniques used in that support structure, looking kind of made. Also, it's a little arrow. Maybe I need to do a little Easter egg right there. Would be funny. But yeah, it is also on like one concrete footer, or like one massive concrete block. Not planning to do it for like the whole ride, maybe just there only, and then this still be on nature. So yeah, I need to see how I will actually finish the supports of this one. Anyways, I guess it's time to move onwards to like the supports of that turn, and maybe already that piece right there. And I will speak to you or see you again before making the big support there. Okay, welcome back to the speed building part. This will happen quite a lot this video, and I hope you'll excuse me for it, because past me didn't know how long I would be building on this project and what I want to do. So, okay. Anyways, I did some research for the Busch Gardens Spinning Coaster, because I apparently didn't know much about it, but it started in 2021. Like the year when Pantheon was being constructed. There were some plans for a Giga Coaster, and they didn't know what it would be or whatever. And then later the plans got leaked, and it was actually a concept made by Intamin. And you got the planning documents and all that kind of stuff, the whole blueprint even, and that's what you actually see. And it was actually intended to have a twisting spike. So yes, I did my homework, and there you got it. This also showcased that in between the different sections where I went from go from talking in real life to the real-time part to the speed building part, and yeah, this makes it a lot easier for me. It gives my mouth, or I would actually say throat, a little bit of time of rest as well, because recording for 2.5 hours straight, actually it isn't 2.5 hours of me rambling about, but anyways, it's still more than an hour. So yeah, just to keep that in mind. I hope you don't notice it in a thing. I might also just completely watch it so I can actually hear if everything's alright and if there is any changing to do. And yes, it will take a while, but I do have the time for it when I am done with the whole video stuff. And also that all depends when the results come online. And I don't know a date on that yet, so yeah, that's my issue with it. But anyway, as you can see, I am now busy with the supports that are going underneath the turn. This is an overbank, and I also didn't record anything because it was literally just the same work, and I got sick of it like halfway through when I was at the highest support, and after that there were some things that were not going good. The spacing between the supports, which I did beforehand, as you can see, was off, and I needed to do everything of that second half again. I wanted to say a word, but I forgot it. But yeah, eventually it came out with like some supports. It's good now, but some supports are still a little bit spaced apart quite far, in my opinion. But I think I've grown used to it. So also, you don't really see it from the path. It's just the only way you can see it if you're in the coaster, because the area is really big, and with really big I mean really big. It's the half of the plot, which is absolutely insane. Like, it's the same size as Seaside Park, but still it has more than Seaside Park in it, because the file size between that is, or the increase in file size is insane. But anyways, we got a real-time part section coming up, and I will see you guys back there. And we are already further. As you can see, I have loads of support added. Yeah, don't know if it's actually good or not. I might need to do some extra research on like if Falcon's Lighthouse uses this. Looking at like maybe this is 50 meters or so IRL. I need to see if there is something in between there that actually makes it a little bit steadier. Oh yeah. Also added this double spine here because there will be a lot of forces reacting on this track, because it goes at max speed right here, and then it just immediately curves upwards, meaning that there will be a lot of stress in like going that direction and following the circle up there, and then it's just straight upwards. So yeah, I guess it's now time to make this actual support right here, which will be a big one because the track won't even fit on my camera. But yeah, anyways, you'll see that right now. And I guess welcome back to the real-time part. I really don't know what this video eventually will become, but anyways, now it's actually time to build the main spire of the coaster, and also the eye catcher, if I could call it that. It's like really funny because when looking at the normal construction of or the normal structure of the spire that was made by someone, and I think also pulled from the plans for the supports, I really wouldn't think I could pull this off, but luckily I did like first try. Although it isn't really the exact same support structure, it definitely is support structure, and I am happy with how it ended up. Here I also found out something handy. with rotating stuff around, but only like really late. And this is also a part where my computer was like, nah, or I think my OBS was like, nah, I'm not gonna record everything. I wanted to just remind you that this recording, that this support alone was around 1.5 hours. And this is like the biggest thing it saves. I think we'll soon have a big cut because I don't know where the recording actually started and where it cut off. And it also happened later somewhere, and I don't really know where it was, but yeah, it's kind of annoying, and I think I'm also going to say it in the next real-time part. Also, knowing that this is the only chapter actually where there are actually multiple real-time parts. I think the other ones are just 1 or 2 instead of like the 5 I have right here. Also making it kind of annoying for me. I made it myself really hard actually recording this. But as you can see, the support structure is actually coming along quite nice. This is like the main way I did it. I just built some triangles, rotated them upwards, or actually I just moved them upwards, rotated them so the clearance was okay, and then put the triangles, connect every point with the other 2 points in like a way to form triangles. And if you know your geometry quite well, triangles are basically the strongest shape there is. That's why you also see them in truss bridges and also supports in general. Although not all time, of course, supports not being all the time triangle, but at the points where the track is having a high stress point, or like a point where there are too many g-forces on it, it's just in general a triangle. But as you can see, in literally the next real-time part is coming soon. I think it's like a minute or so, not even. You will suddenly see a finished spire, which is absolutely quite hilarious because, yeah, I kind of hate my computer or OBS. I don't know who to blame for doing this. Also knowing that I'm just doing this on a laptop with actually quite shitty specs. So, yeah, as you can see, this is the only thing that there is, and now we're going back to the real-time part where I will explain the rest of this support structure. So see you there. Okay, we back, and sadly enough, as you can see, the spire is standing, but there might have been only a little bit of footage right there, and I am sorry, but the footage is gone for some reason. Not because I lost it somewhere on my PC. No, I recorded it and I ended the recording, but OBS wouldn't let me end the recording, so I needed to force shut OBS to be able to just get it closed so I could get the footage. And then I saw that it only recorded 12 minutes of me actually building the spire, while in total the recording was over an hour long, just of me placing down these support pillars. So yeah, it's a little bit sad that I don't have it, but just in general it's looking amazing at this point. Like, I have never set up such a complicated support structure for a coaster. Like, this support is so big, it's unbelievable. Now that that's done, I can actually start working on this area a little more. What I mean with that is actually adding detail here, like adding drive tires and supports. Same as here. Oh, not actually really, because this will be a transfer track. Had some issues because I wanted to have the transfer track, the train stop, like right around here, while if I just had the block brakes connected to the station, it would just stand with its nose in the station, making it not possible to do a transfer track. So I needed to search for a little workaround, and now I need to move this a little back to actually make it work. And yeah, in general, I think I'm so happy how it's looking right now. And I'm already thinking of like ways on how I can detail this part. This will probably be the only part that will actually have some buildings. I want to actually have a little plaza coming right up here. Then we only have like the issue of like what I need to do with this grassy area. And then, of course, the area on the spikes. And at this point, I just have in mind a little bit of terrain with some trees in different colors to make it look good. But in general, I am at the moment really happy with how this coaster is looking. I never expected it to actually look so good because I was thinking I was going to fail at like making that support and making that support. But for some reason, it's working out. And yeah, I guess it's time to move on to like the little station work. And after that, I don't know. I will probably see you guys back after I have done all the technical stuff. And that will probably be the last time before I actually finish it with adding some theming. So yeah, it is now time to actually finish like the track with all its detail and all that kind of stuff. I'm looking at like how long the video is right now, and I think we're at 35 minutes, which is absolutely insane. Just doing this voiceover, knowing fully well that at this point I was thinking that the project was going to be finished really quickly, not me realizing I have only been 1/3 of the way there. And yeah, I don't know how to react to that, but anyways, this is like the recording where I make a custom transfer track. And the funny part was when it was finished, I don't know who said, but I was like, "Oh, look at this transfer track," and he said, "Oh yeah, that's just 3 primitives," and I was like, "3 primitives? Have you looked correctly? It's almost 200 primitives per transfer track." So yeah, the main inspiration here was actually Storm, the coaster, the wannabe polar coaster in Dubai. I think it's in their mall. That's the like only good reference image I could find of a Intamin transfer table or transfer track, even though it's just a switch track. So and like the moving mechanism, I just used the mechanism of the switch tracks in games, and maybe that's the reason why, because it had black strips, and I don't blame them. But yeah, I also got a request to make it a blueprint from Rippy, so he could use it for his. So yeah, if you want that, I'm just going to link it down below. I know the UK folk can't really do that, so that's kind of sad. The only workaround there is a VPN, but not everybody has a good one. And yeah, it's also, yeah, I don't know what else I could say about it. But anyways, I don't know why I went in so much detail, but this should have been a sign that this project would be a while before it's finished. Coming up to the 40-minute mark now, it's absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, like I said, the main inspiration was Storm. It looks an absolutely amazing coaster. It's also the first Intamin coaster with a vertical launch, I think. After that, Intamin also released some footage or models. Free model are like free. It isn't really free because you need to pay for the coaster and stuff. But yeah, you wouldn't actually really need to pay the design costs for a custom layout. So yeah, I would say this was actually quite funny to make. I really enjoyed it. My brain hurting a little bit. Also me completely forgetting we had those beautiful curved cuboids and torus pieces to use, and here I'm just struggling with like the smallest primitives. Well, this could have been only 4 parts, so but yeah, at this point I was like, I didn't know it, and then CC came to look, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you could have just used those curved cuboid pieces," and I was like, "Oh shit, we got those." Yeah. So if you see me use them after this, it's probably because I got remembered by someone that they actually exist in the game. So, oh yeah, while I'm doing this, I'm also realizing that if you hear some crackles or stuff, that might be the problem of DaVinci. I can't fix it. I don't know how annoying it is. If it's really annoying, you can just let me know and I'll go back to the default voice recorder of my laptop, lining it up, because that's the main issue. I can't really talk about what I'm seeing in real time. I'm just doing an estimate with that, because it's like really running behind. But yeah, here I'm making a small mistake, but that's fixed quite easily, because yeah, as you can see, the moving part is there and it does not need to be connected to like the main part. The only thing that's missing on the transfer track even now is just a motor or an engine, like a mechanism that powers the transfer track, because now it's just working on magic. And also you don't really see it in the layout or in the finished result, because it's a dark room with no lights. But I see there is a real-time section coming up, and this is the last real-time section of this chapter, and after that we can move on to the entire station building. So yeah, I'll explain everything I have done in that section, so see you there. Okay, I might have done some off-screen work before actually starting to steam the coaster, like actually making the catwalks, and also these little details, the connector pieces for the track, custom spines as well, because otherwise it's also how a real Intamin works. And then actually something that bothered me while making this is the fact that the second spine, these vertical pieces here are way too much. They actually need to be like one or two needs to be get rid before the next one comes. So this piece could actually be in like that place, but right now it's not possible because that piece is in the way. But that didn't stop me from actually placing them in some normal places, except for this one maybe, which has like those things, but I don't care about that. But yeah, also going back to there, I also added those catwalks and those pieces all over the track, and with that done, I can actually start making yeah, the station and the plaza and then the surrounding area, and then I think I can call this project done. The track work wasn't like the most of the work actually. It's like the theming will take a lot, adding that realism to everything and all that kind of stuff. Also realizing just now I still need to make a way to get up these catwalks, and of course that one there, because you can really do stuff here. And I also added these little drive tires on like the track, so the train actually can move forward on these things in theory, because in the game they don't actually work. But yeah, with that said, I think it's time to actually start working on the station and the queue and like the whole area here. And I will see you guys then before we start the last thing, which will be terrain. Just so you know, at the moment it's the 23rd of December and this build battle is done at the 5th of January. So oh boy, did I think it was not taking this long, and eventually taking really long to make, because as you can see there was already a building standing, but that's not, I was not satisfied with that building. Because the first iteration I did was actually a gothic kind of like not castle, but a gothic church style with loads of arches, and the station building was becoming really tall and I just couldn't work it out, so I needed to get rid of it. And yeah, then I was like making a layout, a simple layout of like a building. Did not record that, and yeah, now we're here, and all of that what I just said had happened over a course of 6 hours while I was in the game. And yeah, then I took a good night's sleep, and while actually going to sleep I had this genius idea to make my own brick texture, because the in-game ones weren't satisfying me with like all the stuff. So yeah, that's why you actually see me doing custom rigs, and why this project was taking so much longer than expected, because my gosh, every time I needed to incorporate a new element, I needed to change the bricks, as you can see right here, and it took a while. The one positive side of that is that when I needed to do another room, I could just easily use some stuff or assets I made in the previous room, and that's why the first room took a while. Also, the first room was finished on Christmas Eve, funnily enough. So that was a nice present, because yeah, I didn't know it would take that long. That also reminded me of like a thing that happened when the Disable Collision was just new. I was like building a coaster, and I had the trailer of the coaster up on my channel. The coaster was called Walktrough Ornen. It was Norwegian or Danish, I don't know which one of the two it is, for Flight of the Eagle, I think. And yeah, funnily enough, that station building took me 2 hours to make, and I was like, this was really long. That was my thought when I finished that building, and it's funny because I still remember that. But yeah, now looking back at that wasn't anything to finish a station building, and that also being with the old Disable Collisions, meaning old hitboxes, old non-resizable items. So yeah, it was a challenge, or I want to say nonetheless, but I don't think that's the right word to use here. Also here I'm just also trying to figure out a little layout for the castle. That's also why I scrapped the church kind of like structure, because I want it to be a castle located in the Black Forest. The reason why I want it to be in the Black Forest is because Black Forest is very well known for its fairy tales castles, and I visited one last summer. It was Hohenzollern, or however you would pronounce it, Hohenzollern. But anyways, it's a castle located on top of a mountain. It's not as majestic as Neuschwanstein Castle, because that is an absolutely beautiful location. Oh my gosh, I want to visit the castle so bad. But it's still a very enchanting castle. Like, when you visit the castle, you need to take a shuttle bus up, or you can just hike up, but hiking up is such a long way. So, because we were pretty late there on the day, we took the bus up to the castle, and my gosh, when you came up, you still needed to walk upwards, because the gates were at the lower level, and the castle was suddenly like, I would say 30 to 40 meters above you. So you needed to do like a whole path. It was making turns, and it had some amazing views off of it. And then when we finally entered the entrance plaza, it was just so gorgeous. The castle wasn't that big. I think Neuschwanstein Castle is bigger. But still, absolutely amazing castle. Really fairy tale like, as I would say. So yeah, I think I actually said everything about the castle, except for maybe that, like, the rooms, because you could walk through the castle. The rooms were absolutely amazing, and then there was a basement, which was also really weird, because that basement led to like another place, and then when you wanted to go back, you needed to walk around the whole castle on this panoramic desk, or panoramic terrace, which gave some absolutely amazing views. And yeah, I wish I could have seen more of the castle, because I think it has loads more to offer, but yeah. I think it's just that for now. I think like if there is still a castle I really want to visit is Neuschwanstein Castle, or maybe the castle from Dracula in Romania. A castle will also look interesting. And I'm realizing just now I might have a little castle, an interest to castles, because when making this castle I was looking at reference images, and I'm gonna explain this a little bit more when I am talking about the little tower I made. I don't know when it is, but yeah, that's inspired by an amazing castle with a very sad ending. But more on that later, because right here I'm just doing a little floor, and this floor is actually based off like the dining area in Neuschwanstein Castle, just some squares. And I know I'm not doing it the primitive efficient way, because I am doing it with double the amount of primitives that I could just regularly do. Also, this is the point where the queue is actually a little bit inspired from I would say a Voletarium in Europa Park, which is, in my eyes, a very good flying theater. And I have only done 2. The other one was This is Holland, and isn't even part of a theme park. It's just an experience you could do. But my gosh, flying theaters are so good rides if you're immersed in them. What I mean with that is you need to look constantly at the screen. Because if you just look upwards, your emotion gets just ruined because of the ceiling. But anyways, Plopsaland in Belgium is also building one, and since I live in Belgium, I guess I will be visiting that on opening day, because why not? I really love flying theaters, just because of the immersion it gives you. And the thing is, right now everybody is using a flying theater to fly over stuff, but in Europa Park, they added a little ending, a new ending there when their movie Eternity Grand Prix Racing Champions came out. And my gosh, I think if you're a car theme park like Ferrari World, you could just use a flying theater and race through the track, because that section was so good. And the funny thing is, if you make it, if you can push the flying theater to its limits, I think you might even be able to get airtime out of flying theater, which is absolutely crazy. So yeah, also a reason why I want to go back to Europa Park, not because of their coasters, because their coaster line is also amazing, but because the flying theater, I think that's like the closest one to me, next to like This is Holland in Amsterdam. Because the other ones, the other closest one, I think will be Futuroscope, because I think they have 2 maybe, which is, why would you need to? I don't know if they even have to, but I know they have a flying theater with a very good soundtrack. But I heard the movie was kind of bad. Although I might be lying, because I think Legoland Windsor might also be really close. But soon I will have one in my own country. So yeah, I think I will be visiting that as well. But it's for 2027, I think. Just like everybody else in this country. So yeah, as you can see here, this is funny. I wanted to have a statue in the queue, and the thing I wanted to have first was a dragon, but the dragon I made looked so cursed. So I just went with like a little, yeah, I would say a Tizzy kind of like statue. Sorry, I'm using Tizzy a lot, this thing. So Tizzy, if you're hearing this, I know I said it before, but thank you so much for the inspiration and like the motivation you gave me to actually finish this build. But yeah, I'm just make a simple statue with a guy holding a book. At this point, this was literally the point of no return for me, because I made one room so detailed that I needed to keep the rest of the building detailed as well. And I'm kind of glad I did, but geez, I kind of I just didn't want to. It's because my finals and stuff. So yeah, I don't know what I needed to expect from this. As you can see, I made a room, and the rooms. I'm just going from one point to another without some extra filler space in between to actually make this kind of seamless in transition. But anyways, coming back to like this castle build, I would say this. I was building and I was realizing, oh yeah, wait, the windows don't really have any windows in them. And I wanted to do some stained glass stuff, but that was still way out of my league to do. And I think I could have done it in like a way, but not at this state, not while still needing to finish a whole castle. I was also thinking, oh no, this is still the day of Christmas Eve, I think. Because I was thinking of, I was sitting on the couch and I was showing off that one room finished to someone. And yeah, absolutely insane. Right here I was also thinking of, like, I wanted to add a roof so I can actually do the insides with a little bit more care. And making a chandelier. And the chandelier, I was thinking like I could do it like really medieval like, and I was thinking about candles and stuff, and then looking up chandeliers, I just came on this very simple design, which actually was very simple, but I think one chandelier took in about 80 items, maybe even more. I think it was 138. But yeah, it's just a simple chandelier with, I would say simple, but it's just a chandelier with some torches on them. But the torches, I couldn't really use fire because I wanted to have like the lights like change in brightness, and there was a way you could do it with music. But yeah, since Roblox kind of effed or kind of ruins the music in Roblox itself, I needed to go to different solutions, and one of them is the blink, because with the pulse you can really change the time in between blinks and like the intermediate time, or like the time, how long the off time is and how long the on time is, because that was a very important thing. Also, then you have the issue of like, if you just do one and you copy it around, there is just a point where 1/4 of a second every light is out, so you needed to have like a little bit of difference in that. So you need to have like one light being out that long, or staying on that long, and one light staying on that long, and then sometimes you add a light where the off time is half a second, just to like not have a moment where a light is off. But coming back to that, there is a chance that every light in the building is off for 1/4 of a second, but that is taking so long to actually happen that it just doesn't matter. So yeah, okay, and now we're onto the roof part, I see, and I don't know, we're on a roof part. I don't know. Okay, it may not be. Okay, no, I see, we're on like the balcony part. This balcony was actually inspired by a website Tizzy gave me. Jesus, Tizzy, you influenced so much of this build. I really should pay you. My gosh. But yeah, Tizzy sent me a website where I could get some cool reference images, and yeah, that's where a little bit of this came from, because at this point I was just thinking of, I want to have that to the side, and I wanted to not have those pillars go up to the roof, and I needed to make a custom top piece for that so that you couldn't see the Z fighting, because my gosh, is there a lot of Z fighting in this build. So yeah, I made those, and then I was thinking of this one part in the Voletarium queue, and I was like, okay, I want to do that. That sounds or looks really cool. And yeah, I just continued it, and I just kept adding to this room, and I kept adding, I think for 2 days straight, and at one point you like really have and you would think you would have enough of this room, but I didn't. I was liking this room so much. Like, I don't know why, but it was just giving me so many good vibes. And coming back to the reference images, you would have come past things you would have never seen before. Like some castle ruins that were changed into modern buildings, and yeah, just also bringing me back into like my fantasy era, I would say. And what do I mean with fantasy era is like when I was a kid, I could have read, I don't know if many people know it, but we had Geronimo Stilton. It's like an Italian writer kind of thing. I gave a PowerPoint about the writer, and every kid in school read those books. And the although Geronimo Stilton being like a child's book and all that kind of stuff, it was still a book with like or it could have, you could have done everything with the character. Like at one point the writer started doing fairy tales and all that kind of stuff, and then she was doing a series where he travels through time periods, and that's also why I might know a lot about history. And there was one series, and it was called Fantasia. And she's still going on with it, I think. I don't even know if it's she. But my gosh, that was just literally insane. It was like very fun because it had like those scratch pages where if you scratch the page, a scent would come off, and it was just so fun to read as a child because it would bring you into those fantasy worlds and doing all that kind of stuff. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. But yeah, I was looking, I wanted to start the section about journalism, but then I saw a massive jump in like what happened. The roof is on, the stairs were built to the next level, and the queue fences were there, and the other room was finished. So I don't know why I didn't record more of that. But here it was also funny. Like, I'm going to reach the item limit. Because one of those cogs, I think it's called a cog, was 40 items. And I wanted to be the cogs like with spikes, or like not spikes, but poles coming out where it would support the solar system. And yeah, I don't know what I was doing at this point. Oh jeez, I'm sorry. But I thought it would be kind of cool to actually include a solar system. This was on Christmas, I think. But yeah, a solar system, very interesting solar system, because it's kind of off scale. What I mean with that is, I think if it would have existed in real life, which I actually thought would be kind of cool, because when I build something, I also look at the real life aspect. And in this case, this wouldn't work, because in real life I was thinking of like the planets moving around on a slow speed. But I think if I do that with this on-scale solar system, the planets would crash into each other. So yeah. So I don't know about that one. As you can see, Earth, very easy. Earth is the only planet with like extra stuff, and also Saturn, because of the rings. But I heard there was another planet in our solar system with rings, or what appears to be rings. I don't know. I'm not into astrology and all that kind of stuff. Even though it can be quite fascinating and scary at the same time, because also with Stranger Things coming out and stuff, explaining like black holes and white holes and all that kind of stuff, and how it's actually practically impossible to make it work, but then still be able to make it work. And also new states of matter and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of Crazy. But I see we got a real-time part coming up. This is like a really long voiceover, I realized. But yeah. Well, I've said everything I wanted to do about this part. I think it's just best to let you guys enjoy a little bit of explanation on what I've done in the real-time part, because there has been a lot, and I'll see you guys there. Okay, and at this point we're the 25th of December, and I have outdone myself because I thought, what the heck have I done, bro? This is my reaction at this point, because it might not look that great from the outside, but bro, let me tell you, this already is crazy. The outside is looking bricky. Every brick is individually placed. That's something new I have never done. Going in here, we have this room. This room took me 6 hours to create, and I was like, okay, I'm not recording it all, because then you would be looking like at a good 40 minutes of me just making this room. And then we have this room, which also took me another whole day to create, because right now, at the moment where I let my last voiceover and this voiceover, we're already through the 3 days further. And yes, I would say that this part of the castle is basically done. I might add some little trash cans in the queue, and then the next thing you will see is probably me making this entrance hall. Probably not everything, because as I said, this took me a good 2 days to make, although it not looking that big. The amount of items in here is crazy, because I went from a file size of 0.5 MB to 0.82 MB. And then we still actually need to do this, so you might see me do some clips of this, and then actually do some clips of this, and then after that I'll come back and talk about how I'm going to do this, because this is still the transfer track. Won't do anything that big of a deal here or here, but I will actually make it a little bit look backstagey, and then yeah, the souvenir shop, or the gift shop actually, where you exit, and I think I will just do it like this is a part of me making this, and then I'll come back to you guys, then me making that, and then coming back, and then it's actually just the whole outdoors area with a little plaza that will also be its own chapter kind of like thing. I don't know how I'm going to do this video, but anyways, now that you guys are updated on what I have created, which I think it myself looks really damn good, but took way too long to make, yeah, I will let you guys back to the whole voiceover fast speed building thing. And welcome back, I guess. And it's time for like the station building, or station building. We've already been building the station building for a while, but I mean the station room, if I can call it that, together with like the transfer track room, or I thought the entrance hall. So yeah, the main inspiration of like the gates was to actually have it more like, or the main reference was a Conda video, because here in Belgium and the Netherlands we have a channel called Theme Park Science, and you as an English viewer can also watch it, because they also do English dubs or English videos in general. So you can watch them, or like maybe a few, because they don't do it anymore, I think. But anyways, this is a very interesting channel going about theme park topics. And their most recent one was from Arthur the Ride. Haven't watched it yet. Or I think the most recent one was about Megalodon. Anyways, very interesting stuff. Explaining G-forces, explaining how launches work, explaining how powered coasters work. Literally an amazing amount of incredible topics you can talk about. But one of those videos was about Conda. And knowing this is an Intamin new gen coaster, I was just thinking maybe they have a shop of like the station in there, and they had, and that's why these gates are looking like that with their extra thingy. It's also because I saw it from Conda. I actually still need to go back to Wallaby Belgium to finally get to ride Macklin as well. Conda I've ridden, and I need to say it's an amazing coaster. Like, the final few pops of airtime are incredible. But yeah, I want to go back. I'm hopefully going back. It just all depends on what the group wants. If the group doesn't want anything, I think I'm still gonna go. I mean, it's Wallaby. So yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that when the theme parks open back up. But yeah, I see there isn't much progress on the stage. I could ramble on about some random topics to continue. So yeah, it's going back to like the theme park science stuff. It is really, really interesting. Let me just look what kind of content they also have. They have an interview with the designer of the Python Efteling. Like, how does an inverted or how does a coaster without gravity work? They got how your roller coaster restraint is chosen. How does Droomvlucht work? Opening of Joy. Like, incredible. Like I said, they have some English videos, but they don't do it anymore, I see. Which is quite sad. Because they are actually very interesting, and if they go international with it, their audience would grow a lot, because right now they only have 50,000 subscribers, which is quite underrated. But many theme park fans here in Belgium and the Netherlands know about the channel, and I don't know how, but they managed to get some backstage in like parks where you could think, what the hell? They were able to go backstage with PortAventura. Managed to get backstage in Europa Park as well, although I don't think it's that hard to organize that with Europa Park, because Europa Park is quite a friendly park. Like, my gosh, Roland Mack really set something up with Franz Mack, and dang, when I went, it was definitely visible. And although I don't have an encounter with customer service, I really think that every other park can learn something from Europa Park. But yeah, they also got backstage in some smaller parks, which is also not hard to get, I think, because the smaller parks kind of see it as promotion for their park. But yeah, I mean, going to PortAventura as a Dutch channel and managed to make a video on how hydraulic launches and how magnetic launches work there is amazing. Although they didn't have the invitation from Intamin to go back behind the scenes on Uncharted and all that kind of stuff, but still absolutely amazing channel, and I really, really would recommend it if you want to see, because I saw that the Madhouse video, how they explain how a Madhouse works, is an English version. And yeah, also I see, I don't know if it's English or not, but it's like the energy, how much energy does a roller coaster use. It's also backstage with Conda again. They also do some very special POVs as well, because I see here the Ride Happiness by Tomorrowland unique POVs. One of them is a wheel POV, if you're interested in that. Also, you see the magnets hanging below the train, and just in general, absolutely amazing. Like, I don't know what else I could say about it. It's absolutely insane. What they even can fix with theme parks and that kind of stuff. But right, as you can see here, we're doing bricks again, because that's like the only thing I apparently did in the past few weeks. And I don't know what to think about that. I think it's like a major waste of space for me for studying and that kind of stuff. Knowing that at the moment I'm recording this specific voiceover, I have an exam tomorrow, I do not even feel prepared. I got a classmate texting me, asking me a question of like stuff which is really complicated, and I can't even answer it. Mainly because the course we have in Examov is so stupid. Like, it's explained by someone who did a master degree, and it's explained in a bachelor degree thing, but it's explained at master degree level, and we just don't know what is going on, and we have complained a lot about it, and the only thing they said is, oh yeah, just print out the sheet with the formulas on them, and that didn't help a little bit. We might need to see what comes out of this test. I'm kind of afraid of it. But yeah, I think it's finally time for the tower, and I don't know if it's the first iteration of the tower, because I went through 2 iterations. The main tower shape went the same, it's just the top part. Looking at like what I wanted with the tower, I just did a simple tower shape. I thought maybe a pyramid roof with like a change in steepness would help. I think that's the building or the iteration you see me build now, was that version. But in the end, it just looked kind of simple. Way too simple for what I was building. And yeah, also these bricks were just a pain. I don't know how I could stick out with that. Also, here you see the basic shape laid out of the castle, because I thought maybe I need to do a basic shape, and it was really funny to see how I got from that basic shape to like the castle we have right now. And it was just like, oh, it's getting a lot cleaner now. It's getting so much cleaner, and constantly deleting those basic building blocks and replacing them by the custom wall texture I created. It was so nice to actually see that in a form of progress, because although I made loads of progress during the days, it still didn't feel like actually much happened, but that just made it feel so much better. And I think this is also the period where I said that I needed some space for myself, because my life was just getting so busy, and I just didn't know what I was doing, and my head was just full of stuff. So I apologize if you got scared by me for a sec. If you're still listening, by the way, because at this point we're already an hour and 20 minutes into the video, and it's unbelievable. But yeah, those issues had me stressing out, and I think I made the right decision to put everything to a halt, except for this video. Because I'm still recording it in a period, I'm like not doing much stuff for my channel, and the only thing I'm doing is on rides, which might kill my channel again, because the YouTube algorithm is giving videos to or suggesting videos to newer viewers if they get rated high enough with the how well they performed compared to the previous or the previous 9 videos. And with me doing these on rides again and them not getting a lot of views, I think we might be getting the struggle again of actually getting new viewers and all that kind of stuff. Although it might be a little bit better now that I got 500 subscribers, which I still thank you guys for really much. But yeah, also coming out of my week of literally ignoring socials, or like what I mean with socials is getting in social contact with everybody, closing the server off, literally setting my Discord server my Discord profile on invisible, just to get that little bit of rest I could get, and it helped a little bit. So yeah, also after this came the very motivational period where I was in call constantly with people, and I would say these were all people who are also competing in the build battle, like Tizzy and Kylo, and it was just so much fun. And yeah, I think here we're going to like the new castle tower bit, and I can finally shine with my explanation on this tower, or like the top of the tower. And let me just start off with how I actually came up to this idea of redoing this tower bit, because I was already thinking this roof needs to be redone. And that ended up looking some reference images, or not even reference. I was just looking at castles in general just to get some inspiration on what I could do. And we here in Belgium, we got a child series called Huis Anubis, and it's so popular that it got a Dutch or a German version. And a German version apparently was a little more scarier, but the German version we can just toss aside, because Huis Anubis is a child series made by Nickelodeon from the Netherlands and Belgium. That's one group, by the way. Also, how Netflix Belgium and Netherlands is, or Spotify is, I don't know. But anyways, they have 2 movies. Both of the movies include some fantasy stuff, because it's actually based on Egyptian history. Like, that's the main series, but going to like the movies, they are going back to medieval styles. And their first movie, I didn't look at that because the first movie, I don't even remember. It wasn't I don't know, I might need to rewatch that one, because I literally don't know anymore exactly what happens, and I don't know how the castle looks like. But going back to the second movie, which when it came out for me, it was so scary, because basically how the story goes is somebody's turning 18, I think, and because he's turning 18 and he's a major horror freak, they go to a castle, and in the castle is a person. I should think that he's the owner, I don't really know. But what he does is, when the clock strikes midnight, that person basically triggers a dark ride, which is kind of cool. But during the dark ride, people would be picked out of the dark ride and turned into those wax figures like Madame Tussauds. But the thing is, they are wax figures, but not wax figures. Their main body is still in there. And for me, as like a 10-year-old child, that was terrifying. But looking back at it now, it's actually quite childish. But anyways, meaning that it's scary for a 10-year-old child means that it does reach an actual point. But yeah, it was such a weird thing. But coming back to the castle bit, they got a castle, and the whole movie actually is taking place in that castle. And how I actually came up to the castle is quite funny, because I was just looking at castles, and then a castle, or like a tiny castle, popped up that looked like the house from the Huis Anubis. But coming back to that, I was thinking, wait, that movie, literally translated to English, is The Revenge of Argus, had a really cool castle. And then I did some digging, and my gosh, am I glad that I did some digging, because it revealed some peak Belgian lore. And what I mean with peak is literally peak. While I'm still building this, because this is literally just the start of like this whole top part. But while we going to like the castle, which is actually quite insane how this castle came to be, because it just all starts in the 15th century here in Belgium. In Wallonia, we have a castle called Le Château de Vève. I visited that castle myself, and need to say it's a small castle with a big tower. And when I mean a big tower, it's a big tower, but it's a round tower. It's not this tower. This is also not the castle I'm talking about. But anyways, we go to the castle, and somebody in the castle, or like a few 100 meters away from the castle, is a little homestead. It's a little house, and it wasn't used that much, but when going through the years, the little house was used more and more, at the point where the main house, or the little house, was actually the main place where they would stay. And when we talk about that main house, in the 18th century, in the late 18th century, the owner of the house actually said, like, yeah, let's just make it bigger and look more like a castle-like. And he hired an English architect, and he designed this neo-Gothic style castle. And then the work began, and the work took like really long. It was finished late, or like I think right before the Second World War. And then the Second World War broke out, and we go to like the Germans, because they infiltrated Belgium and they took hold of the castle. And what they did is quite weird. They had the castle, and they gave it to the Belgium train company called NMBS, or like it's short for National Belgium Railway System, I think it's translated to, or something like that. And they gave a bit of the castle to that company, which is weird in itself. And it's just weird in the fact that the Germans gave a little bit of the castle, like one wing, to a Belgian railway company. And then it just all started, because the Belgian railway company was like, oh yeah, let's just change it to a vacation home. Like, that wing was just a place where you could book and stay overnight. And it stayed like that for a long time. Then the Second World War ended, and the ownership was back to like the main owner. And the owner was like, okay. He said literally like, okay, NMBS, you can have that part of the castle, and I will remain in this part of the castle. And that's just, I would say, for a long while. It was still a vacation home, and then it came to be that the owner was too old to actually maintain the castle. And at this point, I think the Belgian Rail Company had the full castle to itself, and they literally made it a vacation resort. And after that, they were like, the owner was like, okay, I'm too old to actually maintain this building. NMBS lost their hands on the building, and the building came to be abandoned. And what I mean with abandoned is the owner still owned it, and it was protected by some old historical thing here in Belgium, for landmarks and stuff. And the castle actually came to abandon. And the thing is, the town where the castle was located in tried to purchase it multiple times, and the owner kept saying no. And then it was pulled off of that list of recognized landmarks. And a month later, a destroyer or a permit was filed for to actually take down the castle. And the thing is, there were loads of issues with that permit, going from like it was okay to tear down the building, and then there were issues, and then it was okay again, and then there were issues, making it so that the teardown of the castle took over 2 years to do. And that's like really sad to actually see a castle with such a rich history and such good looking vibes just be torn down, also while the local town was trying to get the castle to actually show it off. And yeah, the castle is now gone, and I was like, oh, and I wanted to visit it so badly now that I was literally doing my research on the castle. I was like, oh, this castle looks sick. I want to visit it, and it's just gone. It's like another piece of Belgian history gone, and yeah, sad to see. While this castle now has been taken shape, and I'm just doing the last little bit of the castle, I might hear you people say, this castle looks like the castle from Monsters and Chains in Universal Studios Epic Universe. And let me say you, that is correct. And the reason why that is correct is because the castle I was been doing my whole building thing from, like where I was inspiring from, was actually used for the Monsters and Chains ride, which is absolutely insane because in theory it gives me a chance to visit the original castle, but not exactly. And yeah, now I actually want to go to Monsters and Chains because the castle is looking amazing. But yeah, with that said, I think that's literally the whole history of that castle. And you can look it up for yourself. There's an entire Wikipedia page about the castle and like some images of like urban explorers that visited it. And yeah, I'm laying the last details on the tower before I'm going to a real-time part, and I see that's coming up. So I'm gonna leave you guys. I'll see you guys back in the real-time part where I will explain some other bits and things I did behind the scenes or of recording. See you there. And it's time for actual touch-up again because Jesus Christ. It was another long period of building, and I actually haven't even done everything I wanted to do in that section. I was just thinking, it's just time for a little update on the entire castle, because I have also been building off screen. As you can see, a lot has been added off screen. You might also have seen in some recordings, but anyways, as you come in, you have like the roof with like a ceiling. Ignore that piece, it's just a center of rotation for me. And then these statues made by Tiz. Thanks Tiz, if you hear this, I really appreciate it, even though you might have been a little bit tired of me asking stuff. I'm sorry. But yeah, anyways, you also have like some doors down here, just so this actually has some use. What I want to add is I want to actually add some wooden beams like that on this wall and these two walls, just to make it a little bit more interesting, a little bit more different, and also a carpet here. Then that's everything there. Then it's actually time to move up to the station. Let me set it today real quick. Because that's also done, kind of a lot happens. As you can see, we have like an arch entrance with some different things. As you can see, it's still very much a work in progress on this side. Some gates, like you saw on like after the last recap, a little update thingy. I just need to do a door here. Come in, needs a little bit of a way of lighting here, and maybe also on the other side. An operator panel. I think it will probably be here. Some case where you can put your luggage in, and then this will be the exit. But this is like what I want to tackle next after I have done that piece, or finish the station off with like the interior room here, because then I will tackle this area together with like the gift shop, and then lastly on the castle I will work on that part. But yeah, anyways, what you also might have seen is I redid the tower like twice. No, actually I made it once with like a default rooftop, but I was thinking it's too basic, and I made this, and it's looking hella fire. I might also be giving some little bit history of like where I got this idea from, or like this design from. I don't know yet because I haven't recorded that bit yet. So yeah, anyways, I think I will be finishing off this little bit, and then you'll probably see me continuing building on like these two sides to actually going to like the final stretches of like this castle, because it has already been a wild ride. I've been busy on this castle for 4 days now, and yeah. 4 days. 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 4 da it's just time that this whole building gets done. At this point, it just turned 27, like literally recording this at midnight. 27th of December, let's just say it's the 26th. And yeah, the next 2 days, I really can't build that much, but I will try to get on between studying and all that kind of stuff to actually finish the castle off, but it still have a good 1.5 week before it needs to be turned in. So yeah, I will try to actually make anything out of it. As you can see, there was a little bit of a depressing period, and also as you noticed, it was recorded at 12 a.m. And yeah, at this point I really didn't have that much time. It was a busy period. Like we had a family feast on the 27th, and then we went to Efteling on the 28th, and then it was the 29th and 30th. And I think I need to... Oh no, I didn't need to work on the 30th. But anyways, I actually wanted to study as well, and I had a very depressing period. And I don't know how I stick through it and kept building, because at this point I was just alone, not feeling that good, and in that way also like stressed out and all that stuff. Like if I would describe my problems, I wouldn't have enough with this video in itself. And I'm also not going to put that on you guys, because I'm trying to keep personal life and this life separated. It's like living a different kind of two identities kind of like thing, because at school they also don't know I have a channel, although I think only one person knows, and then that's it. But yeah, also coming back to the castle tower, I actually haven't told the name of the castle, and I think I forgot the name, which is kind of stupid. But it started with oh yeah, it was Le Château de Noisy. It's a French name, and the castle actually had many names, but is mostly known for Le Château de Noisy, or Le Château Noisy. Noisy spelled in Noys epsilon, or however you write that down, because we just call it Griekse ei here in fucking Belgium. So, or it was just Y, I think. Anyways, at this point, I'm just trying to finish the castle itself, because I was tired of the brickwork. And when I say tired, I mean tired. Words can't describe how tired I was of like constantly placing the bricks, reshaping them, and the thing is, I wasn't even remotely done to close, or like almost done, because the only thing I needed to do with bricks at this point was just the storage room for the coaster trains. And my gosh, I'm looking outside and it is storming with snow outside. It's absolutely crazy. But yeah, I don't know at which point I am in like dates. Let me just look. Oh, we're the 30th of this of December. And at this point I'm just doing a little souvenir shop, which was already the plan, and I am still like intrigued to make some merchandise for it. And I don't think many people will hear this. I don't think many people will actually go through this. But if you want some merchandise of Drachen Spire, just let me know and I'll try to make some that looks good for you guys, because people don't know is that I also made some merchandise for the hypercoaster in Seaside Park, because I just like the logo that much. So yeah, I made a hoodie out of that, and I have been wearing it ever since. And it's available for purchase, but I don't know if the price is too high, or if I should bring it down to 5 instead of 10, or I think it's even at 15 if I need to take a look, because I thought, oh yeah, I actually want to have a fair price, because I need to pay 10 Robux to put it on the Roblox catalog. But yeah, it's a 10 Robux, I see. So yeah, if you want it to be at 5, I'm completely fine with that, as long as I at least make some money out of it. Or like, I don't know, I can't make it free. That's the thing. I can't make it free. The lowest I can go is 5. That's what Roblox made it happen. Or in any way, I don't really know. But yeah, recording was actually, or my program actually crashed while looking up the price, so not doing that anymore. But at this point, I'm just looking at lighting. Best result in this room was having the chandeliers hang really, really low, and have a really long chain. And in itself, it looked kind of cool. Couldn't lie. But yeah, it's actually crazy to believe we're 1 hour and 40 minutes into this recording, and I've been yapping for 1 hour and 50 minutes. Done over 2 days actually, because it is it is a long video to record in itself. And at the moment of recording, the results of the build battle aren't even out yet, and I don't know when they come out yet. And I don't even think the forum is closed at this point. We're the 7th of January, and yeah, I don't know. Anyways, at this point I'm just doing castle or a railing, and let me tell you, I have been playing with these railings and I just love it. I don't know where the main inspiration came from. Maybe those custom balustrades on castle balconies outdoors, which kind of looked cool indoors as well. So I just went with that, and yeah, I would say it turned out amazing actually. Also, while I'm yapping about the building stuff, I'm really glad that I didn't make the castle walls as thin as possible, because that's what I normally do. But the walls in this case were very thick, and I could hide a lot of stuff in there. And yeah. Anyways, I think at this point the building is done, and that's the reason why I'm doing the outdoor queue. This isn't a queue where you walk through normally. It's just an extended queue line. It's a little kettle pen, not themed that much, but yeah. Also, this was a point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go back to call, and that kind of actually helped to motivate me again, and yeah, enjoyed life a little bit back again. Still knowing full well that I have my first exam tomorrow, and I need to be going on with it for I don't know. I think it's like 15 days. I'm not ready for that. I am a wreckage at this point, and still going for like this video because I really love this video and I want to finish it so much. And yeah, at this point I don't really care about it anymore. I was like, okay, let me just finish this video, just to also help my mind set out of things. And still I'm here rambling about those things I actually don't want to ramble about. So yeah, as you can see, it's a standard kettle pen, but with a little bit of greenery inside there, because otherwise it would be boring. Also realizing what I'm saying right now, or not what I'm saying, but what I actually had planned a little courtyard with a hedge maze, and I did a courtyard, but not a hedge maze. And I actually had some time to incorporate it because I would say uploaded or finished and I'm just gonna say uploaded the build 3 hours before the actual deadline was, and still knowing that the documents was still open 24 hours after the build battle actually ended. yeah. But at this point, everything went quite quick, actually. And what I mean with that is the big things were done except for terrain. And I came to realize that I might needed to get some money. And I spent some nights AFK to get some money. And knowing this is an old plot, as you might have seen in the beginning, there is a little park entrance on there, as you can see right now in the distance as well. And that park entrance is still there because I want to preserve it, actually, because it is a park what I started as a YouTube series. But I don't have the first episode anymore, and I think there was a second episode as well. As you can see, I actually had loads of series going on, but nothing much finished, actually. Like, also with the hotel series and all that kind of stuff. Like, I still want to do the hotel series. Or I want to bring it back in a way, because I think the concept is really cool, making a hotel and theme park Tycoon 2. And the reason why actually the hotel series was because Only H was doing it, and it just looked so good. And I really liked how he was doing it, and yeah, that's the reason why I actually did my hotel series. And I put the videos offline because, first of all, the series isn't finished, and it's kind of cringe. There is no voiceover. There's just music playing in the background. Nothing me. It's just me building. I literally don't say a word in those videos, and it's just kind of boring with like the NCS music in the background, which is absolutely crazy. I might review those back later, like really later. Looking back at like channel stuff that is old, and with old I mean really old. There's even some Dutch stuff on there. I think I did like a Dutch trekking stream with one of my friends. Ended up costing me a lot of money in Euro Truck Simulator because he was constantly crashing into me. But yeah. As you can see, I also made a custom trash can with the logo of the coaster on there. And let me tell you, I like the trash can. Like, although it being 80 items, I like the trash can. And the trash can has been placed in this park a lot. And with a lot, I mean a lot. Or like in this park. Actually, like the original idea was to actually place it down in a park. But that's impossible in a build battle, like if you want to do it like a real good theme park. And because this was a Busch Gardens Williamsburg concept thingy, I couldn't basically put it in a park. For like really, really hard reasons. So as you can see, because this chapter is coming to an end, in the next chapter, I will actually just be going over terrain stuff, and that in itself also takes 20 minutes. And I think that's also the last voiceover bit I need to record, or second to last, I don't know. But yeah, in on that point, I just barely recorded anything. So what you see me build is actually like maybe 20% of what I've actually done, and also a section where I spend loads of money. So yeah, but all of that in like the next chapter bit. The reason why I'm doing this chapter is just because it's easier. So yeah, I see the real section time coming up, so I'm gonna see you guys there. And welcome back to the real time part. The project still isn't finished. At the moment of recording, the 1st of January in 2026, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody who's watching this video. Even though it might be July when you're watching this, but I don't care. Anyways, as you can see, the castle is like, I would say 95% done, or maybe even more stuff. I just need to do some bits on like the outside. Inside is finished, but I just want to get some stuff on the outside. Like I want a little balcony here with some arches where you go under, because that's always been the vision for this part. And then some vines over here and there because those walls look a bit bland. And then that would be actually it for like the exterior of the castle as well, meaning that when I add that castle is completely done. But then just for the rest, the plans of this video, I know it's for 2 hours, but I don't care at this point because I was like, okay, then we just do it, make it a special. So yeah, anyways, I want to do a little food point here where you can grab some food and some little tables with a fence and then some nature. I actually want to do like a little hedge maze, if that makes sense, or a little garden here. And then surrounded by trees, of course, and terrain all the way around. Then following this path, you'll be coming to the town square, where I actually want to add one ride just to make it look a little bit more of a theme park instead of like just one single project, which might look a little bit different from the rest. I don't know where I'm going to end. You might see it probably in the end of the video because I don't know where I'm going to end yet. And yeah, anyways, with that right, I also want to do a little town square, like the typical town square. What I have in my mind, if you have seen Hotel Transylvania, you know that town square in the first movie. I want to maybe do a little bit like that, like the Black Forest, or how the Germans would say it. I hope I pronounce this right. Schwarzwald, half wooded houses, meaning there are wooden beams incorporated with the houses to increase strength. And yeah, I want to actually add that somewhere around here. Make that a little bit more of a mountain. Yeah, just in general, more mountain. I might need to get rid of a little bit of this, but I don't care. I just want to keep that because I'd like to come back and visit some old projects once in a while, which I might also want to do a video about in the future, but I don't care. I don't know when. So you might see something like that coming up in the future. So yeah, I'm just gonna do with that, and then I think you will just see me finishing this project now. No extra in-between moment with me talking and explaining what I'm going to do or what I have done. Yeah, what you will see now is probably recorded over the next 4 days, and I will be back with you once the project is ended and I submitted I'm going to submit these things in the video in real time. So yeah, anyways, I'll go back to building. And welcome back in the last chapter, and my gosh, I can't believe I'm almost done recording this voiceover because Jesus Christ, it has been a ride. And I don't actually know anymore what to say, but because this is still like a 20-minute chapter, I still need to fill it up somehow. Yeah, I don't know what to actually say, except for the fact that, okay, was like thinking how I could actually create a good surrounding terrain structure. And one of the positive sides of being, I would say, friends with this, I don't know if he thinks the same way about that, is you can kind of use the techniques he uses. Definitely, since I have been in call with him during the last week of this, quite literally every day. Yeah, in that way, it was kind of good in a way to know different building techniques of like different things. And yeah, he also gave some critique I could place, so and I actually applied, so thank you this. I should do a thank you discounter, bro. I don't know, it would take too much time at this point. Anyways, this is like also a thing. I was looking at like how I can finish this thing, and it would just be boring if you were just spawning on the little courtyard. So I thought, why not make an entire village? At this point, I only had 4 days left, less than 4 days left, to actually make that happen. And that, together with everything that I needed to do for this month. And there was also a day in there where I needed to work, and I literally didn't do anything because I was so tired. I had slept 3 hours that day, and I went to work, and I came home, and I basically went straight to bed because I was just tired and everything began to start hurting. So that's a day that didn't happen. Nothing happened. So at this point, there's only 3 days of building progress done in a simple 20 minutes. So normally it's just 3 hours. Now it's 3 days. So the reason why it's also so short is, like I said before, I literally didn't record that much because it was all just repetitive, and at one point I also ran out of money, so I needed to stand AFK overnight multiple times because once I got money it was gone by the end of the day. And you might be asking yourself how I literally lost so much money. I mean, at one point I had 3 million and it was gone the next second. And the reason is one simple, I would say, hill of terrain would cost a lot. And with a lot, I mean 50,000 or 51,000 more to be exactly. And yeah, that would result in placing I need to calculate this in my head, but placing, I would say 20 of those is already 1 million. And I placed more than 20 of them because this area is huge. And you will see that in the end because and you also see it now because the coaster literally spans from one end of the park to the other end. And the park area you get is basically a square, meaning it doesn't matter from what side to what side. It's just from one end to the other. And it's also really annoying if you don't have any speed to walk that piece. But still, it looks amazing. Also realizing I might have not recorded the houses. Well, that's a bummer. I will see if it's recorded. But anyways, this is like back to thinking of like what this area could be. This food court, and after the food court, I was thinking how can I make it more interesting, and I was thinking of placing down a ride, and that ride ended up being the swinging carousel. Like it's called in game, I just like to call it a swinging chairs ride. I don't know. It has multiple names, and I don't know the correct one. So yeah, just to come back to the points, I made a little swing ride, and around that I placed these buildings. And these buildings are based off of buildings you can find in the Black Forest. And the Black Forest houses have a really specific structure. It's close to like the Bavarian style and the Austrian Alps style because that's basically just one corner and they all have like the same influences. But yeah, because I wanted this coaster to be located in the Black Forest because it's such a magical place, like unbelievable how beautiful it is there. I ended up with this. Also, here we have a random random thing happening. As you can see, it was getting quite weird and cold. So I guess we were all getting bored at some point, and that's what comes out of that. So you'll get some funny moments out of that. So if any of the persons who are just on screen there are seeing this, I'm sorry you didn't know you were being recorded. But that's just a little bit how it goes, I guess, because like I'm just doing the most random shit when making these videos. And what I mean with that is literally just building, thinking, oh, this could be interesting to record, and I record it. Resulting in a lot of flaws, and remaking stuff isn't caught on camera. It's not that I actually remake a lot of stuff, because I mostly get it right on the first time. But yeah, here you actually saw, like, in this episode, you actually saw like one of those examples, and that was the castle tower. And I think it was perfect to actually keep that in, because it also shows that you don't need to get things right from the first time. And that is something that some people really think. They think that they need to make that everything they make needs to be correct first try, and that's not how it goes most of the time. Like, definitely also in the work field, you'll need to go through many iterations of kind of things. Also happening in my project right now, definitely when we already have a half working finished prototype, but then still remaking it, because there are some small flaws and also some things we didn't look at. And yeah, it's just a part of the process. And if you're ever having that problem and you can't really think of another way to do it, I would just say lay it down and wait for something good to pop up. That's also what happened with the castle, by the way. Like I was saying, I was actually making a more like church-like structure inspired by Notre Dame in Paris, but then combined with a very, and I really mean very, Gothic style. And yeah, in that way, I was already realizing this might be really hard to pull off if I keep continuing down this road, resulting in a station building that's just way too big. I probably can't finish in time and is not looking great. And I tried for a whole day straight. Like I said, I had spent 6 hours working on that church structure, and in the end it's just all gone, wasted in like recordings. I still have the recordings of it, but I'm just not going to show it, because otherwise this episode would be becoming way too long, and I don't think I'll ever do like this kind of episode again. Maybe when there is something interesting to do and I can actually try to do it, but in a way I'll just see what I do. Also a very smart trick, building trick I use here, and that is when you're making a curved pad that is going down a hill, I would recommend using the go-karts. I know it isn't technically NPC compatible, but that's not what I'm going for. And yeah, it's actually quite nice. The only thing you can't do is changing the texture. So if you're going for a typical American style park where the paths are literally just asphalt or concrete slabs, like Six Flags, I'm sorry American viewers, but they just use asphalt paths, and we still see it, because Six Flags was in Belgium and the Netherlands once, in the late 19th century, obviously late 19th century, but I mean, I think between the period of 1990 and 2005, or maybe just early 2000s, Six Flags had bought over the Wallaby parks, and they transformed it into Six Flags Belgium and Six Flags Holland, and they basically expanded these parks really quick. They took ownership, and what they did with Six Flags Holland was pour down an asphalt path and just place some roller coasters and rides down it. This is just literally the most American thing to do. And you can still see that these days. Not in Wallaby Belgium, because they are literally picking up their game and making their park literally amazing. But Wallaby Holland is going down the festivalization route, meaning that it isn't actually quite theme park-ish as you would hope. Everything looks kind of cheap, and then also them going for RMCs for like coasters. I'm not gonna blame them. Untamed is very good. Joy is a little bit less, but nonetheless still enjoyable in a way. But yeah, it wasn't the best tactic they could have done. But yeah, that's what I meant with like the asphalt stuff. Coming back to the roads, that was like when the go-kart update dropped, that was like literally the first thing I was thinking of. Like you can use it as an asphalt path, or like just a path or a road when you're making a parking garage with multiple floors. And yeah, that's just such a little trick. Jesus, what you also saw me do, like I think it's 5-minute bags already at this point, is using roof ceilings, like those little, I would say little cross structure where you have like two triangles crossing each other to make a little X form or a plus sign, and that using a strain. Like there's only one problem with what I did. I made the ceiling tops a little bit too tall, and I was already in the process of placing down the last couple of those pieces before Tizzy said you can make them cheaper by 50% if you lower them. And I was like, oh well, shit, that could have been better, but I just kept it as it is now. It's still looking amazing. Trust me, right now it does look like I still need to do a lot of work, but once everything is placed down, I don't know how much time we have. I see already over the 2 hour and 5 minutes mark. You will literally see how I did everything, and it will go really, really fast soon. And like at a pace where I was already thinking like, Jesus Christ, what is happening here? And yeah, I don't know what I need to think of it. Jesus Christ. I need to say I was kind of enjoying finally doing something else than placing down castle bricks, brick by brick, almost basically. So yeah. Also a thing to save time, what I did is I just made a facade, just a simple facade for a house, just the front, and what I just did is I just grouped it together. It was just barely possible, believe me. That facade is 238 items if I'm not mistaken, but Jesus Christ, was it unbelievable that I could group it together in one group. And just basically what I did and what you want to see me do in the speed build is I just rotated them around and did nothing on the sides. The sides I just literally covered up by nature, and it works for some reason, resulting in some actually pretty cozy vibes going on. And yeah, I don't know how long this thing is still going to take. I can only see it. Like, I think it's just 1 minute on my screen at this point, moment before it moves on to the next kind of thing. But like you can see me here doing is making a queue. At this point, it isn't really a queue. But yeah, also just to give a little bit of variation in the houses and to not make it boring, the fact that they're standing next to each other is just make one house a little bit higher and pushing it backwards a little bit more, resulting in a little bit more depth in the buildings. And that's worked. And I just sticked with it. Also, what I did is I made a new portal kind of like thing. I used a portal, made a custom frame around it, and placed it at its own spawn area. And that spawn area is actually quite nice, although it isn't the best. It's still, when you spawn, you turn around, you literally have the 300 plus foot spike standing there, and it's absolutely crazy. Also, as you can see here, this is the tactic I'm using. It's like 11 roof pieces together, forming a little bit of a hill. Here I had the issue of the park border, and just placing them down, and it wasn't really spamming, but it was still placing them down. And at this point, it just started to take shape, because, you know, you suddenly have terrain, and then you add trees and all that extra stuff, and suddenly you have a whole area. Also, like, this is a good way to make a custom tree, like I see here, is just place a few of the basic, like the really, really basic trees on top of each other, and just scale them down a little bit more and more. And you have yourself a custom tree that looks pretty good, while also being really cheap in a way. I don't know, I think the basic tree, I did 4, and I think it's $120. It's literally nothing. But yeah, as you can see, this is like literally the part where we're at right now, is just placing down these hills, put some trees on it, put some bushes on it, put some rocks on it, and you'll have yourself a lovely, lovely terrain. Like, I need to say, I finally saw this whole project coming together, where I've been building on for 2 months, 2 weeks straight. And also really incredible is that I can put this straight in 2 weeks. Like, I've never done something like this before. Literally, this is like the first time I have detailed a building so much, and I just did it in 2 weeks, and I still can't believe it. And I guess we'll also see how I rank in the end, because I literally need to go up against Kylo's building and Tiz's, or Kylo's build, Tiz's build, then the Mission Impossible build, which isn't finished, and some other unfinished buildings or builds, but I don't know how I will rank to them. I heard people saying that it's going to be probably top 10. And for me, at this moment, like I said before, I literally don't know anything. I'm recording this on the 7th of January, literally 2 days after the deadline. And the results haven't been released, and I think it will still take a week or two for the results to actually be released. And you will see that happening in the video. And what I mean with that is, after this, like, I'm taking pictures right now. After this, I am literally just gonna show you what I've done in the real-time part. Do an on-ride. I'm not doing a showcase, because the showcase is happening in a separate video. Otherwise, this video would be too long, and my editing program will probably crash with the amount of cuts I have done in one thing. Like, it already crashed when I did Best of Brum, which I also edited in between all of this. Like you've seen, I literally did a lot during the Christmas vacation, like I would say. And my gosh, I still can't believe, like, I'm gonna say it a lot, I can't believe that I put this down in such a short time. But yeah, going back to that, I haven't seen the results. I'm actually curious to see the results. It's not that I'm doing it for the Robux or anything. It's just, I thought it would be a nice challenge. And like I've said before, I said somewhere that I would be participating in the next Thijmen build battle, which is this one. Huge cut now, or jump now, to basically the last clip, meaning we're almost at the end. Just bear with me, okay? It's just, you see that the train is now complete, and I have less than $1 million bucks on my account right now. And at this point, it's just placing down trees. And it's only a 6-minute clip, but slowed down 8x8 or sped up by 8 times is literally nothing anymore. So I'm just gonna say literally what this clip showing is just me placing trees. It will not show the finished result, or me actually nearing the finished result, because I still did a load of off-camera work in a way. And yeah, it's still crazy. But anyways, since I'm done with talking, I'll see you guys back in the real-time part. And here we actually are. At the moment of recording is the 6th of January, meaning this submission from the build battle was yesterday, and I did that because the build is actually finished, or like finished enough in a way, because when looking back at it, there might be a little bit of a few things I actually want to add or change. But we'll keep that for later. Anyways, let me set it today, if I am allowed to. Yeah. So, the build is obviously called Drachen Spire. You might have noticed in the title and the thumbnail, I guess. I haven't made them yet. I actually haven't made anything except for like the videos and the timeline of my editing software, so... but yeah, it's called Drachen Spire, and it's basically the concept of Busch Gardens Williamsburg. And I mean, let's just do a little showcase of the build, because as you can see, there has been changing. There are a lot of changes since the last time, since the last recording actually. So you can see going up the spire there. It's a nice little it's a nice foresty area, with a little of a village, if I want to say it. So it's quite simple, because these were made in the last 3 days, and I actually didn't have any time, because I actually needed to study for school. So yeah, these are basically the same houses, only raised in level a little bit. But yeah, as you can see, we came through the portal onto this main plaza with a, I don't even know what this ride is called in game, let me check. It's a swing carousel, okay. Yeah, I would just call it a swing ride, but it's a swing carousel. I thought it was a nice addition here. The only sad thing is that I couldn't change the yellow colors, but it's okay now. So yeah, as you can see, a little queue. If we go to the entrance here, you have some safety regulations. The signage is actually also a bit wrong. As you can see, it says 140 and it needs to be 120, and it's 132 and it needs to be 95. So yeah. But anyways, this is the entrance. You'll just go around to here. You have the ride operator booth here. You have the exit here. And yeah, as you can see, just a small ride operator booth isn't anything much in it. But yeah, that's actually a little plaza. As you can see, beautiful view of the coaster here. Absolutely insane. Going down this pathway, you can see a few benches, trash cans, to make it feel a little bit more alive, or make it look a little bit more alive. Because just a regular path is kind of boring. But as you can see, we have the castle slowly creeping up on us, and yeah, as you can see, the main eye catcher is of course this castle tower, which is actually the I don't know if I still have it in the recording, but the old tower I made was kind of bad, and I just wanted to change it, and it was just pure accidental, as you might have heard in this sped up part, because I haven't recorded anything of that. So yeah, but anyways, you also have a little food court here. The idea is that you can actually grab a little bit to eat here and just can sit down. There are a little things I actually want to add to this later, maybe for the final showcase, maybe. But yeah, that's the exit actually, and then the entrance. As you can see, the safety regulations. This time it is correctly, I think. Yes. And then we have the standard and express queue line. Now, to keep it actually pretty simple, I could do the standard queue line, but there's only one difference in there. So actually, as you can see, we got an extended queue because the capacity is only 590 persons per hour. So yeah, as you can see, when you enter this grand hall with the little knight statues. Thank you, Tizzy. Then we can walk through this hall. This was actually like a realization of, oh shit, this may take a while. So yeah, this was actually the room that set the high standards for this castle. But I'm very happy with how it turned out, and also how the castle is looking now, because it's absolutely insane. Then we come into the astrology room with the little telescope and a scale model of our solar system. Because this is fantasy, this isn't medieval. So yeah, they knew space in like this fantasy. So let me just go to the bonus real quick. Then we'll climb up these stairs, which were absolutely insane. And then we go up here. This was actually a little mistake I made, just letting you know now. I actually wanted that to be the express line. But in the end, it turned out that the express line became this thing, and I couldn't be bothered to actually fix it in some way, because then I think I would need to make that the regular queue line. It was actually supposed to be that this was the regular queue line at this point, but it isn't. So this is the fast pass, or the express pass, and you come up to this balcony. That was the main reason, so you could look down at the entrance, and then you're actually in the station. As you can see, the regular queue line doesn't really have anything else added to here as well, so it's just a little bit basic, but I like it. And then we're on the station. As you can see, it's quite big, quite tall, but I could have made it taller. I just didn't want it, and yeah, that's just basically that. I would say let's take a ride, but it will take a while before the coaster is back. So yeah. Let's just do the exit, because I will show you an on-ride later. So yeah, got exit with the little castle image. Then just a little hallway going to the shop, the souvenir shop or gift shop, whatever you may call it. Also love this. Didn't do any shelves on the items on the shelves because that would kill the file size, but file size, I'm actually shocked by it, but it isn't that much. It's only like half of what you could do in the game. So and then you can basically exit at this little terrace. I don't know how to pronounce it in English. Sorry if I said it wrong on my English viewers, but and yeah, then you just walk down and you exit and you end up in on the main plaza where you all entered. So also, while all that has been shown, let's just go back inside, because there are still a few things I had inside. But I don't know if it was visible in the speedrun or not, in the speed build, but yeah, as you can see, we got a little transfer track. As you can see, like, I wouldn't be bothered to do this because you would never see this. But yeah, you could come on in here. This is the little transfer track area where you can store trains. The reason why there are 2 and I have 3 trains is actually you can have 3 trains. But 1 is always in storage. So if there is something wrong with one train during the day and it's quite busy, they just can put on the other train to go around the track a few times and then let people on it to increase the capacity again, because capacity is a major issue on this ride. I don't know why Busch Gardens would ever build such a ride, but yeah, anyways, with all that said, I think we'll let you enjoy a little on-ride on this coaster, and after that I'll see you guys when the submissions or the build battle winners are posted in Thijmen's Discord server. So yeah, see you there. So yeah, results came in. It's kind of disappointing. I will just show you. Look, first of all, Tizzy won. No surprise there. Everybody here glazes Tizzy. Then Kylo won with his one. Let's just go. So Tizzy won with Ikikai. It was a cool coaster. Very funny to see the progress of this coaster, literally growing every day. Then Kylo came with Hex. As you can see. For your information, he only did the exterior and there was no interior. So kind of disappointing. Not to you, Kylo, but for myself, because I really did on interior and exterior. And then this build came in. It is Aetheris, Flight of the Sky Isles. Funny because there are no Sky Isles. Not that I'm giving commentary. Then we have the 4th place. This looking fairly cool. 5th place. I'm sorry if you're seeing this and I don't know your name. 6th place, Mission Impossible coaster. That one also wasn't finished. Then this build, kind of empty in my eyes, but yeah, it's a mountain. Then 8th build, 8th place actually, I should say. After that is 9th place. Yes, this coaster is very big. And then 10th place. And to even make it more harder, like I already got to endorse so many things this month, but I came in 11th. With a rating of 22, I got only 7th. That's why my name is in red. This is like the point where you did not qualify. Or actually did not make top 10. Commentary was Spike. But yeah, also what I would like to point out, and Thijmen, I don't know if you're watching this, is maybe you could really change this, because the voting system isn't really fair in like a way of you vote on an average score. But as you can see, WM up here in the corner, if you can see it. I can really lower it. WM, as you can see. He only gave few coasters a rating, bringing their average more up, resulting in the people who didn't get rated by WM got a lower average, making it less fair for them, making a lower chance for them to get into the top 10. I'm not complaining, this is just a whole. Even when I was in call with Dizzy and Kylo, they also said that that was an issue, and yeah, it's kind of sad to see. Maybe that would have been the more deciding factor. But yeah, it is what it is. 11th place, sadly enough. I think I might just need to accept that, and yeah. Anyways, let me change back to the camera. If you liked this video, I know it's been a long one, but you can always like and subscribe. I really put some time in making this one, and maybe even putting some of my exams to the side for this. Also, while I'm recording this, I'm literally in the middle of taking them. But yeah, if you like this kind of video, you can always like and subscribe, which really mean the world to me. And with all that said, I really hope you enjoyed this XXL episode, or like just in general something different than what I do from the rest. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.